Well, hello, everyone. I'm Paula, and welcome to Off the Clock. This is the show where job titles take a break and real conversations steal the spotlight. No LinkedIn perfect answers, no labels, just real conversations. Quick thing before we get started: if you enjoy real conversations like this one, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it with someone that you would like to be watching with you. This will really help me to reach more people, and I really appreciate. And if you're joining us live, please say hello in the comments. Love interactions. We love interactions. So don't be shy. And let's get this started because we have a lot to cover in this episode. My next guest believes hotels are leaving money on the table, a lot of it. And he is on a mission to prove that the room is just the beginning. He's worked with over 400 hotels in more than 30 countries, helping them unlock revenue far beyond the room and challenging the industry obsession with occupancy along the way. A strong voice in hospitality, he's on the mission to prove the ancillary revenue isn't just a tactic, it's culture. So, everybody, please help me welcome to the stage Pablo Torres. Hello, Pablo.
Hi, Paula. How are you?
I'm very good. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being
Thank you.
here today.
My pleasure.
You are right now in Spain, and how are things in Spain? It is hot, cold. It is.
It is hot as of this week. Actually, we just got a heat wave coming in to launch the spring. Let's say it's been a proper winter, which since we have one for a number of years, but now
Yeah.
it's a hot spring. Yeah, happy to
Oh,
welcome the good weather.
nice. I hope it's not that hot in the summer because I know well, people usually. I don't know you. I'm assuming you like summer, but maybe you don't. But people like summer, but when it's too hot, and I don't like it. I'm from Brazil, so I guess yeah. I'm not a real Brazilian. But Pablo, before we get into the smart revenue stuff that we will cover, I want to know
Hmm.
you travel quite a lot. I see between
Hmm.
countries, events, and all that. So, what kind of guest are you? Like, are you the kind that relax? You get in the room and you relax, or are you secretly analyzing, like the hotel the whole time? Can you switch off?
No, I cannot switch off. I can I can never switch off. I guess most of us in the industry have that. Well, I mean, it's part of our job, on a daily basis. So it's not the one I'm gonna be complaining. Okay, I don't mean that. I'm super quiet at the hotel, so I leave the D&D sign, so they don't need to bother cleaning the rooms when I'm staying a few days. I try to make my bed and leave the bed done even when I check out. So use as little
Wow.
number of towels as possible. Yeah, yeah. Super, it's like because
You,
I
you,
understand the business, and so sometimes you go to a hotel, you have 8, 9, 10 different towels. Like I just
yeah.
try to use us, just a couple of them maximum. But yeah, I spot different items. Sometimes if the management asks me for feedback, hey, how do you find the room?
Yeah.
Honest feedback, then yeah, I
Yeah.
tell them, well, listen, I'm not complaining,
Yeah.
but since you asked me, I found this and this and these items, as
Yeah.
a constructive feedback for them to work on it. But
Yeah.
no, I wouldn't be saying anything negative.
So you're the perfect guest, and I had a guest here on the show that I kind of asked quite the same question, and most of them, if I'm not mistaken, they cannot like fully relax. There's one or two that actually check out the room, like if it's really clean, like because they used to work. Not that they're
How
gonna
to clean.
complain, but I think
Mhm.
it's something that it becomes almost a habit. I don't know. So it's
Maybe.
like, oh my god, you
Mhm.
go to relax and you cannot. But anyway, but going now to your career, right? So you're a hotel consultant. You're pretty much focused on revenue management. Was there any specific experience that made you go all in revenue management? Was it from the beginning, like in hospitality, was revenue manager for you, or was something that happened along the way?
It was a development, I would say. So I was coming from rooms. So I studied reception, like most people when you study hotel management, at least in Spain. So first job is as a receptionist, then you want to progress, you have the opportunity, you might go into a supervisory role, maybe duty manager, which was my case, then front office manager. And then whilst I was front office manager, I was asked by the company I was working in if I could also take care of the revenue. It was being done at that time by the headquarters office, and they said, "Well, trying to get some hotels independently running. Would you be interested in running your own one?" And I said, "Well, yeah, sure. I like to learn." So I was sent to the headquarters for a few months to learn, to assist the guys up there, and then eventually I started running the revenue of the hotel, and ever since, that grew my passion
Yeah.
for revenue, which is everything that is in my head at the moment, and
Is there
especially ancillary revenue. Yeah.
yeah, and was there is there anything specifically about the revenue management that you really enjoy, that it's your passion, as the word you said, like, oh, because I really like the analytics, or I don't know, is it something more specific about revenue management that comes to your head, that
In
it's
my case, it's and you mentioned at the beginning when you were introducing me. Thank you for the introduction, by the
yeah,
way. It's about you say it's like you're on a mission to uncover new ways of new revenue streams, and that is my passion. But that's what I mostly do with hotels: how to discover, uncover different ways to generate more revenue, whilst at the same time providing a better experience for customers. Which is the main goal of, I think, our industry. Some people call it the happiness industry because people go to your hotel to enjoy, to have a good time, to for the holidays, and being able to provide for those customers, that service is nice. And getting extra revenue is not antagonistic to providing a good service. Some people say, oh, it's like you don't need to give three things to generate better reviews or to provide a good service. You can provide a good service or even an exceptional service, and at the same time charge the right value for it. So
mm-hmm.
if you manage to sit down with a hotelier management and analyze the numbers, see the procedures, the processes, how the operations work, and work with them to develop new ideas or implement ideas that that works in other places for them to help them generate extra revenue. Usually they're going to incentivize their teams, provide a better service. So it's a win-win-win scenario, and that's very fulfilling, to be honest.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, of course, you started in revenue management and you like it, and but at ancillary revenue specifically, do you remember was there a specific hotel or situation or even time that you realize, okay, we have to go beyond the room, like when did you notice that we were missing something there?
What when And usually it's the headquarters or the main office that asks you for more profitability for your assets. So,
Yeah,
so historically hotels usually their main target was to fill the house. Okay, heads
yeah,
in beds, as it used to be said. So once the hotel was full, happy days. Then you start realizing, well, wait a second, did I fill it correctly? Did I sell every room the right price? Maybe not. So revenue starts, and
yeah,
then you say, hey, are we once you optimize the prices and the hotel is full, can you even make more money? Because they're always going to ask you more money. The owners, the managers,
yeah.
the operating company. So then you start thinking, where else can I get money? Is it F&B? Is it any other ancillaries? Pre-arrival, post-arrival, loyalty? How can I maximize the potential of every uh, connection or every touch point during the customer journey to give a better service and make more money. So, and that's about exploring all those different touch points to try to create more revenue.
It's when you explain, it seems so obvious and natural, but yet I don't even work directly with that, but I when I used to work, and still now I talk to hoteliers, um they're still stuck with the occupancy and maybe maximizing the pricing of the room, and that's it, like the evolution of it, like you so well explain. I personally don't see that much. Do you think that the industry are evolving as fast as it should in terms of revenue management?
Not at all. I think there's still loads to be done. I mean, we're far behind other industries like airlines or cruise liner when it comes to creating a 360 experience for customers. Many hotels still just focus on rooms, maybe some of them F&B. Then you have the resorts, but even in all-inclusive resorts, I have an example I usually utilize on some talks that I do. All-inclusive resort in Mexico, they had 10 different extra revenue streams, even though they were all-inclusive, for ancillary revenue. So it's about changing the mindset. Is that okay? Up until now, I only did revenue in the space where there is a bed. Can I generate revenue? Can I optimize it? Not only make money, but optimize the way I make it in any other space. So it's changing the I only generate room revenue, and then any other extras. Okay, fair enough. Welcome to every square meter of my hotel needs to generate revenue,
Yeah.
which is the asset management point of view, and then how to work with the management, with the staff to make sure that they understand it, they share the mindset, and then they operate it. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. But while you were talking, I was thinking that sometimes I think hotels believe that they have to create new stream, like new sources of revenue, but they already have. But since their mindset, as you said, it's not yet, they're not focused on that, or they cannot, they even cannot see like that this could be a potential um
Mhm.
stream, yeah, potential revenue stream or something like that. And I think that's, yeah, it's almost funny in a way,
So yeah, I think that
to say the
rooms,
least.
I mean, generally speaking, rooms, it's pretty much optimizing, especially with big companies. But
Yeah.
then you move to F&B, and there is no revenue management in F&B in most cases.
Oh.
It's, in so many restaurants, they don't even know the food cost and the
Yeah.
ratio, the percentage of profitability of each dish. What
Wow.
about shifts? What about having people like they do in big cities? You have 90 minutes or 1 hour and 45 minutes to have dinner, so you can turn around the tables and serve twice each table. What about the position of the tables? How do
Yeah.
you manage the bookings? How do you position people? Why not charging the tables close to the stage, for example, a higher price? For
Yeah.
if so,
Yeah.
if I'm used to pay a more expensive ticket or a show or the movie theater because a certain seat close to the
Yeah.
screen, or why not in a restaurant with a better view, for example? So there are
Wow.
lots of different options and ideas that can be applied. Some people are doing it already. Even dynamic pricing is already being applied in some companies. Some
Hmm.
others are really far behind and they
Yeah.
haven't even thought about revenue management for F&B. Then will be spas and media and events and parkings, and every outlet can be optimized. Mhm.
Oh, I love that. Really, really, really cool ideas and many things that I personally haven't thought about. So I appreciate the lesson here. Going to now to a little bit of your career or your hospitality experience. You've been working many years, and after all these years, Pablo, what keeps you hooked in hospitality? What is that drives you the most?
It's passion, to be honest. I found the sweet spot when it comes to work, and I love it. So the people, I don't know who said it, some celebrity, that if you enjoy what you do, there is no days off, or you don't need days off. And
You
even though
have
my
you
wife
never
complains,
sorry, have you never thought about working something else or other industries? Have ever
before
crossed
I
your
started,
mind?
yes. So I mean, my dream when I was a child was to be a doctor. Then
Oh,
I thought maybe doctor is too much, maybe a nurse, and that's what I thought when I was a teenager that I would do. But
nice.
life took me to a different path. I ended up studying hotel management, and here I am. But
Yeah.
I really like it. So I would say, some um, that if you really like what you're doing, you
Yeah.
don't need to stop on Friday evening. So I had it, okay, at some stages in my career, some certain roles that I had, I felt stuck, and maybe I was like that feeling that you have on a Sunday evening. Oh man, I have to go back to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or Friday evening, hey, happy, it's the end of the week. I can't forget about everything. I don't have that feeling at the moment. It's like I really enjoy what I do. If I have to get up
Nice.
at 7 a.m. Saturday morning to create, write an article, or do something for next week, prepare a presentation for a partner, then since I enjoy it, it's easy going in that sense.
That's awesome. I'm happy for you. And you have like a unique position. Let's say you're a consultant, right? At least now you're a
Mhm.
consultant. So I wonder, what is the best thing about working as a consultant specifically, and the biggest challenge too?
So best thing, it's the time management freedom. that you can eventually have. So you're working for someone in an office, you go to a doctor, you need to ask for permission, might even need to sign a paper. So when you are self-employed consultant or you have your own firm, then you decide when to work. Obviously, you tend to end up working much more when you work for a, my son was telling me the other day, he's a teenager. I was like, so you're self-employed means that you're on your own boss. So it means that you can work whenever you want. I was like, okay, yes, sort of. So it's like, so why are you working every day if you
Yeah.
are the one deciding where to work? I said, okay, that's a very good point. So, and I said, well, yeah, because I have to pay for your tuition fees. That's why.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, sorry, I should have never asked that question. But no, so yeah, that the time freedom has the pros and
Yeah.
cons. But it's the same. Like some companies, they give unlimited holidays. So in our industry, for example, so they allow, I think it's Virgin holidays or Virgin cruises. They give unlimited holidays. Muse as well. They give unlimited
Oh,
holidays, and people on average end up enjoying less holidays than if they had a 22 or 25 yearly day allowance
oh,
because
that's
they have that
interesting.
sense of responsibility.
Yeah.
So they don't want to be the ones uh, like the others look at them say, "How you're taking advantage of this
Yeah.
policy." So
That's
and
really interesting.
once, yeah, no. So in my case, being as consultant, independent consultant, um, it's the same. You have that sense of responsibility towards your partners and towards yourself. So you don't allow yourself to, at least in my case, to disconnect too
Yeah.
much. Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, that makes you wonder. It makes you reflect a little bit. I think it's a little. I think it's a bit connected to culture a little bit too. I don't know. Maybe and I never analyzed this in depth, but I'm trying to think like if in Brazil in general, if we have unlimited vacation, if that would work. Even like
I think
having
you give it to
Fridays
everybody.
night, people already, like I don't know, but maybe I'm just being mean. I don't know.
No, but I've had some people, for example, in Muse, some people in there, and they told me there was their own case as well. They didn't take every holiday. They took less holidays than if they were employed by someone else, even though they had the freedom
Wow,
to take as
that's
many as
really
possible because
yeah.
you work by project, not by hours.
Yeah,
So as long as you finish your project, okay, you're entitled to take any time off you want. But then it's your sense of responsibility. So I think it's as you were saying, it's a cultural match. So certain profiles fit on certain roles for certain
yeah,
companies, and others
yeah,
need to clock in and clock out 9 a.m. to
yeah.
5 p.m. to feel like they fulfilled something. Yeah.
And do you, as a consultant, I mean, I know you are from Spain. You live in Spain, but you are Spanish, right? And
Hmm.
for if I'm not, please correct me. I think you also lived in United Kingdom or London or something like that,
Yep.
right?
In London for 10
Since we're
years. Yep.
talking about culture and going a little bit off script here, uh, I'm curious. Do you see these cultural differences in the hotel industry specifically? Is it different when you work with uh,
The thing
hotels
is,
from X
in
and
hotels, you
Y
have people from,
countries?
from every country. So I remember in some hotels in London, I did a lot of training and worked with many partners in London.
Yeah.
And I remember one case, they had 200 employees. I think only 12 were British.
Wow.
So it's an industry that it's in big cities, most of the staff are foreigners
True.
because locals tend not to want to work in this industry because salaries tend to be low compared to other industries, and
Yeah.
it's not a destination as an industry, as a job career
Yeah.
path for many young people who study. And in Spain, it's becoming very similar. So I was just in Madrid this
Mhm.
week, and I would say 80% of the staff that I met and trained were foreigners.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. That doesn't happen that often in Brazil, I have to say. Um, Even though we have, like, I live in Rio. Rio, it's very much a tourist city, so guests would speak different languages, of course, but the staff, it's basically Brazilian. I think it's also
My
because of the
argument would be,
policy, like, I don't know, for hiring also.
and then
I don't
again,
know.
you live in a massive country. I mean, it's like you have millions and millions of people, who no, but
True.
and then the language. So any other country around Brazil doesn't speak the language.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
So I don't see anyone from Paraguay learning
Yeah.
Portuguese or
No. No.
Brazilian, to
Yeah.
move to Brazil to work in a hotel.
It's
Here
true.
is different because we have a lot of people from Latin America coming in. They have the shared language,
Yeah.
so that's what makes
Yeah.
up a high percentage of employees. And then culture. I mean, you have easier, more challenging cultural fits, but it's not the
Mm,
industries in general. Different
yeah.
countries.
Yeah.
So in Spain, we have a big affinity with Latin American countries because the culture,
Yeah.
religion,
Yeah.
history, shared history. So it's much easier for them to land in Spain and within a few days, be completely switched on with the
Yeah.
culture. Mhm.
Yeah, cool. And Pablo, it's already heading to the end of this show. I have to cover just a couple of things more.
Mhm.
One is that I have to mention you've became a strong voice in hospitality. You're constantly putting out there v- high quality content that I personally enjoy, and I follow you know that. But I want to know, was it intentional? Like putting this effort on your personal brand was something that you was strategically, or was something that you just happened, like you start posting and then you saw, oh, okay, people are paying attention, I'm going to continue? How was it? Was more?
So it was a mix. But the origin was this. I don't know if you say strategic, but we had a boss in a previous company that I worked with, and he said, "Guys, as a consultant, even if you work for a firm, you are your own firm, so you have to be your own voice. So people will want you to work for them. And then if you represent yourselves, fair enough. If you represent a brand, then you are the face of the brand within that company. But they will want you, not the firm itself. So he insisted a lot on creating your personal brand and your personal voice. And said, okay, well, so I took it very strongly, and that's why it's for I don't know how many years now. I've been posting daily on LinkedIn and trying to write here and there, talk whenever I'm invited because I mean I read a lot, I research a lot, so I'm always trying to be on top of things and I guess some people appreciate what I say, because based on my experience. It's 26 years working in the
Yeah,
industry as well. So
yeah,
and as
yeah,
you
no,
said,
you know one thing or two about this industry.
so
But
just because I'm old enough, it might be, but yeah, no, it's interesting, and also it's very enriching because when you write, people answer, and you read other people's
yeah,
articles and you interact with them, so it's really fulfilling as well, and to feel that you are being able to add value to others.
yeah.
Hmm.
That's nice. Pablo, we have here in this, I have, we means me, have here a segment that's called Would You Rather? Okay. So let me just put the short video here very quickly. So this is the moment that no hospitality leader escapes, Pablo. So
Okay.
it's time to play Would You Rather. Uh,
Hmm.
it's very simple. I will present you two situations or
Hmm.
whatever, and then you choose one. No overthinking. Don't think too much. What it comes to your mind. You don't
Okay.
need to justify your answer if you want, of course,
Hmm.
but you don't need to. So let's do this. Pablo, would you rather work? Wait, here. Would you rather work with one hotel for a year, or 10 hotels in different countries for shorter projects?
B. 10 hotels, different countries, shorter projects.
Nice. Next one. Would you rather focus on pre-stay upsells or front desk upsells?
From this upsells.
Oh,
My
nice.
passion.
Cool. Next one. Would you rather sell out every night with low rates or run a 70% occupancy with strong ancillary revenue? I think I know that one.
B. 100% all the way. It's going to be much more profitable.
Yeah, that one I kind of guess. And next one. Would you rather have a perfect pricing strategy or a perfect upsell strategy?
Well, A, because A leads to B. But yeah, you need to start with A, yeah. Hmm.
Nice. Last one, Pablo. You're surviving.
Okay.
Would you rather rely on automation or rely on a highly training team?
Needs to be both. And thing is, with AI and automation, most of the tasks focusing on reception, most of the tasks that receptionists used to do are automated now. So the staff will need to be very well trained in customer relations slash duty management slash psychology slash everything in one role. Otherwise, their role will disappear and we passed on to AI and machine learning. So,
So a bit of both. Nice, you
mhm,
survived, Pablo. Thank you for playing around, playing with me. And to wrap things up, sorry, I
mhm.
have to ask the question that gives this show the name, which
Okay.
is off the clock. So when you truly disconnect, what does you like to do when you're off the clock?
Well, depends on the day of the week or whenever, but it could be like walking the dog, listening to a nice podcast. It could be watching a rugby match, enjoying a beer. Yeah, have spending time with the family. It depends on the situation, but yeah, that'll be the main ones.
Nice. Everything offline then. Thank you so much. That's a wrap of Off the Clock. Pablo, again, thank you for being here
Okay.
and for chatting
Thank
with me
you for that.
today.
My pleasure. It's been pretty cool.
Thank you so
Good.
much. Thank you all for watching the
Thank you.
show. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it. I know it's annoying, but it's really, really necessary. That's how I reach more people. So I really appreciate the help. Thanks, everybody. And I see you next time. Bye
Cheers.
bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Just a second.